Kapkan is one of my favourite operators in Rainbow Six Siege. He can be extremely strong for every single rank regardless of your skill level, and it is such a simple operator to use effectively to get a bunch of free kills. So in this video I'm going to be going over some of my favourite Kapkan spots on some of my favourite maps and to try and help you guys get some more kills as Kapkan. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it with map number 1. First map we're going to be having a look at then is going to be Border. This is probably the best map that Kapkan actually excels at because there's so many doorways and stuff that you can actually put his traps on hidden all around the map, and especially on this top floor there is so many good spots. Now the first few come in these two doorways here. Not a lot of people know, but you can actually put your Kapkan traps right on this side and right on this side, and not a lot of people are going to be looking here depending on which way you put it. Obviously if they come from this way they're probably going to see that one. When they come in here and they swing around the corner, they're going to be looking here, they're going to be looking at the end of the hallway. They are not going to be checking for any Kapkan traps right here. So if you stick 2 up here or 2 on here, I don't recommend putting 2 on both. On top of that, if we come over here into the break room, there's also a very good spot which gets a lot of kills right here. On this doorway here, if you put Kapkan traps here, they kind of go halfway in the wall right here, and it gets a lot of free kills. Once again, you can put 2 or sometimes you can even put 3 here. Anyone who comes through this way when they're attacking that objective there, they're going to come in through here, they're going to be watching here, they're going to be watching down here, they could even jump up and be watching this angle, but what they're going to do is they're probably going to have their sights up or they push through here, and then the Kapkan trap's going to go off, giving you free kills. With that being said though, I think that is it for all of the spots on Border. Let's move over to our next map. Now, as you can see, the next map we're going to be having a look at is going to be Coastline. This is another one of the maps that I really do enjoy playing Kapkan. Once again, there is a few decent hiding spots that not a lot of people are going to check. Now, for this upstairs objective with the hookah and stuff, what you can do is you can stick some on this doorway. This is a doorway that a lot of people seem to come through, or you can come back here and hide some further back. And if you put some in this corner here, anyone who comes in through Hall of Fame is not going to be checking this corner. Now, one of those spots I wanted to show you comes in the security room area. A lot of the attackers do like to push in through this doorway, whether you're in this bomb site or somewhere else around the map. A lot of the attackers who spawn over on this side of the map will funnel through this doorway here, or sometimes they'll come in through the window and they'll use the security room as kind of like a rotate to get around to kitchen or to get around to the main lobby stairs. Now, a good Kapkan spot that I like to use is on these 2 doorways here, because once again, not a lot of the attackers are going to be checking these doorways unless you get droned out. So if a drone sees you in any of these spots, then obviously don't put them there. But as you can see, once again, these kind of glitch halfway through the doorway once again, and it makes it extremely hard for the attackers to see them, because even if they check for them, they literally can only see such a small bit. They're the same color as the server room bit here, and as you can see, they look so goddamn small. They kind of look like these bits sticking out, and it's actually kind of ridiculous how stupid that looks, and it's going to be extremely hard for attackers to spot that. Once again, you could put them in this doorway as well. I don't think it works as well, but they do kind of glitch in through that doorway as well. So use this to your benefit and get some free kills with Kapkan or Coastline. Now, the next map we're going to be having a look at then is going to be Bank. This is another one of the maps that I really do enjoy bringing a Kapkan. Now, a lot of the players will just stick their Kapkans on these main doorways, and these can be good spots sometimes. Sometimes the ones that are hidden in plain sight are the best ones, and as you can see, anyone who's going to be pushing this objective from this direction are going to be coming in here. They're going to be watching behind all of these desks, they're going to be peeking at here, and they are not going to be checking this corner. So this is a good Kapkan spot on this doorway, but that all depends on which objective you are getting. For example, if I'm defending the executive lounge objective, I would actually come down here and I'd actually try put some in the doorway on this side of the map, because not a lot of people are actually going to be checking these doorways because they don't really look like doorways that you'd be able to put Kapkan traps in. And as you can see, if you put them here, they kind of once again bug into the wall. Now, I don't know why Siege have allowed this to happen. It must just be the way that they designed some of these walls, but even on this one, for example, you could probably put it either side of this wall. Well, that side doesn't look too good, but as you guys can see, they do kind of glitch into the wall. Now, these ones are a little bit more obvious, but I do think the ones on this side on this doorway These are stupid. Why did they go inside the wall like that? I will never know. Another good Kapkan spot on bank comes on this doorway as well. If you put a Kapkan trap or two in this corner, if anyone spawns on this side of the map, I guarantee they will not check that corner. Obviously, when they come in through this way, as an attacker, you are going to be focused on anyone trying to swing you from here, especially if you open up like some shotgun holes or anything in this doorway, or if you bring impacts as a Kapkan as well, you can open up these impact holes, and that makes it so any attacker is going to be focused on trying to watch that line of sight. And then if they walk in through here, they're going to get hit with both Kapkan traps, and they're going to go down or they are going to die. With that being said though, it's definitely there to be said that the basement objective on bank is probably one of the worst objectives you can bring a Kapkan on, because all the placements that you can put them on are very, very exposed, and they're going to be very, very easily spotted. So I wouldn't recommend bringing a Kapkan for the basement objective. With that being said though, I do think that is it for all the Kapkan spots on bank. Let's move over to our next map. Now, another one of my favorite maps for bringing a Kapkan is going to be on Cafe Dostoyevsky, and this is a map that I see a lot of success with when I bring a Kapkan, and it's once again because there's a lot of these doorways that you can put traps in that kind of conceal the traps a little bit better. For example, in this fireplace one, you're not really going to be checking that corner, so any attackers who come in through this doorway, if they're coming through here, instead of just coming through here and peeking this, what a lot of attackers like to do is run around the back here, check the stairs a little bit better, check in there a little bit better before coming around this way, and if they do that, you can catch them off guard with the Kapkan trap here. But what I like to do instead is actually put two on the backside of this doorway, and you will be surprised with how many kills this will get you, especially if you're in a very sweaty lobby where they're being very aggressive and they're rushing in and they're not droning too much. This will probably be more effective in lower ranks as well. I feel like the higher rank you'll get, the more they will drone and they will check this. But as you can see, even if they come all the way in the corner here, it's still going to be quite hard to spot the Kapkan traps, and what they're more likely going to be worried about is the stairs, and then obviously coming in here and watching these two angles as well. And one thing I would recommend is if you're defending the top floor objective, don't put any Kapkan traps on the bottom floor, because whenever the attackers see that they have to attack the top floor, they will always just rappel up the side of the building, and then they'll usually put pressure on the skylight here, and then all of the windows that are scattered around the map, or they'll jump in through the second floor. Instead, for the Kapkan traps for top floor, I find putting one or two on this doorway really does help get some kills. This one catches a lot of people off guard once again, because they've got a lot to worry about when coming into this room, and unless someone they know is going to be playing here, they do not check that corner, and it can once again be free kills. Another good spot that I saw on TikTok, I'm not 100% sure who it was, but a strat that they like to use is use an impact grenade, not a C4, to open up the top half of this, and hopefully if you do it correctly, you'll be able to sprint jump over this. And if you set up a rotate up there like that, and then you put a barricade here, what they will end up doing is not checking this corner here, which will allow you to put two Kapkan traps down, and then if they enter in through this lounge area from an attacker POV, they'll see this, they'll see that they can just vault through here and not worry about anything here, and then what they'll do is they'll come around this corner and watch the staircase, and then you can get a free Kapkan kill on these traps here. So once again, depending on your objective, give this a go and see if this works for you. But with that being said, I think that's all of the best Kapkan spots on Cafe Dostoyevsky. The next map we're going to be having a look at then is Canal, and Canal is another good one because there's a few good hiding spots. First and foremost, if you put someone on this doorway, it can get a few people off guard, but it's such a common spot that I wouldn't recommend putting any in there. Instead, what you can do is hide some in the shower room, because not a lot of people are going to check these little corners as they come in through showers, but that's obviously if they've already gained access to that doorway, or they jump in through this way and they're rotating round to the A bomb. With that being said though, if you come upstairs, this is where you can start getting creative, because a lot of the pressure that comes in from the A and B bombs in basement comes from this staircase, from this hatch, and from the staircase over on that side, and obviously the doorways that are downstairs already. But what you can do is actually hide some in these 2 doorways here to catch anyone off guard who are rushing to get to the hatches. So what you can do is stick 1 or 2 on this doorway here, where the attackers don't immediately get hit by one from the first doorway. Maybe they don't know you're already playing Kapkan. And then another one that I like to do is also put some here. Now it doesn't really apply in both positions. I'd say pick one or the other, and then scatter your other ones around the map. But putting 2 Kapkans on either of these doorways will almost guarantee you to get a knock on someone who is trying to get the hatch open. And if you combine this with a Valkyrie cam up here, you'll be able to throw an impact at the ceiling or something while you're in basement to finish the guy off. Now, one of the best parts about playing Kapkan on Canal is the fact that almost all of the traffic of all the operators will funnel through this little bridge and that little bridge up there, because once the attackers enter through that side of the map, if the objective is down here, they will have to funnel through either up there or down here to make their way over to this bomb. So what you can do is put Kapkan traps here, and then coming through this way, putting 2 or 3 on this side. If you don't want to put it that far there, maybe you want to put it here, you can put it there as well. Coming to the upstairs objective then, a lot of people don't realize you can actually put Kapkan traps on this doorway. So if they open up the main breach, they can't plant in this room, so they're going to have to make their way into the actual radar room to put the diffuser down. And what you can do is you can hide 2 or 3 Kapkans on this doorway, and that way, even if they do open up the breach here and they come over in this direction, one, they're probably not going to check it unless someone is playing in this area of the map. But what they're more likely to do is be watching the rotates and the peak holes that you have set up here. You'll probably have footholes along this side, so they have a lot to worry about on this side of the map. So what they normally do is have their sights up watching it, and then they'll walk through, and then bam, you'll get a free kill with the Kapkans here. With the other 2, I'd probably just recommend putting 1 on each of the doorways, so it kind of acts as like a sound cue of when they're rushing through those 2 doorways as well. That's how I would set up all my Kapkans on the Canal map. Let me know if you agree where you disagree. Let's move over to our next map. The next map we're going to be having a look at then is going to be the brand new Consulate rework, and where this map has just been reworked, a lot of people don't really know where to expect Kapkans, especially on the rooms that have been majorly reworked, like the bomb site downstairs. Now, the first thing I noticed when playing the Consulate map for the very first time is there is so many doorways now in the downstairs objective that you can literally catch so many people off guard. For example, you can stick some on this doorway, you can stick some on the doorway at the end of this hallway, you can stick some around here on these doorways, and where there is so many doorways, people will be running through them for the entire match, and they'll just come to expect that there is not even any Kapkans around there. They'll forget about it. So this is a great bomb site and a great map in general, to be honest, to bring a Kapkan right now. Now, where would I put mine? Firstly, I'd put 1 or 2 right here, even though the attackers like to gain access to this area of the map, and I think the rework has made it a lot easier to get down here and hold this angle. Once they are here, they will have their sights up. If anyone's playing behind this pillar, they will be watching them and doing all this, and they won't even have enough time to like shoot these Kapkans. On top of that, still to this day, the spiral staircase going down is also one of the best Kapkan spots you can put it in. If you're coming in from this doorway, for example, you are going to see this corner. If you're running in from this side, you can't really see either, and even from this doorway, you're not going to be able to see this corner. So they'll come running in, and hopefully you'll get a free kill from the Kapkan. And once again, you're not really going to get a glimpse here, and even when like right up against the wall here, I can't move any further left, you cannot see it until you get to around this point. And when you're at this point, sometimes it's going to be too late when you're sprinting, you know what I mean? Unless you know they have a Kapkan, you're not going to be checking this corner. And the next part of the Consulate rework I would like to bring your attention to as a Kapkan is this main doorway. Now, a lot of people still like to funnel through this doorway, but where they've added this hard wall here, this completely bulletproof wall, it makes it so much more aggressive of a push. A lot more people come sprinting through here, not expecting anyone to be in this room. So if you hide a Kapkan down in this corner, I guarantee you're going to get a lot of free kills doing this. If you can do this sneakily in the prep phase and then completely run away from it, it will guarantee you some free kills. So try that one out in your next Consulate game, see if it works for you. But moving on over to the top floor is where I'm going to show you the last few Kapkan spots. Now, since the rework, I've seen less and less people coming in through admin office and manager's room, so I wouldn't really put too many Kapkans on that side of the objective. but starting from this room, it's going to be very hard for them to spot one in this corner. As you guys can see, if they are coming from this way, they can see that side. Coming from this way, they're not going to be able to see it up until this point, and even if they do come at this point, once again they're going to be aiming, and hopefully you can get a Kapkan trigger off. Obviously the only downside is if they actually drone this, then they're probably going to see it and be able to shoot it, but 9 times out of 10 it works for me. It's been working for me so far this season, and I haven't really even had a chance to play Consulate all that much. And the next place I want to bring your attention to is these doorways here. As an attacker coming in through this side of the map, they will probably try peek this, especially if you're top floor. They'll be, you know, watching this angle, and a lot of attackers try funneling through this side to gain access to the objective, and they are not going to be checking this corner here, so that is another good spot for a Kapkan. And the final one that I wanted to bring your attention to is just right here on this doorway. If they come up spiral, they're going to be running through here, eyes up over here, and boom, you just got another free detonation. But with that being said, I think that has been it for the final map of the video. If you guys enjoyed and you want me to try find some more spots on some of the other maps not featured in this video, then please drop a like, subscribe, and without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one.